platforms if I set it up right. It's kind of hard to see in the sun. I'm trying not to wear my sunglasses while I'm talking to you guys. So it's a really, really sunny day, and even though it's negative weather, it's actually pretty comfortable. There's a lot of people out, so it's I'm kind of happy to see that because a lot of people are getting into. I mean, there's a lot of condos and stuff around here. Hi, Katrina from Phoenix.
Katrina.
So Katrina, Martin's gonna.
I'm going to be a gentleman.
You're gonna be a gentleman and put my. Oh, cara mia.
Cara mia.
Okay, he's trying to throttle me in the rest. You know what to say.
Welcome, rewind. Welcome, replay viewers. Hello, Hapsters. How is everyone?
You're wearing your sunglasses. Okay. I was saying that I think I fed down to the other social medias, but it's hard to tell because the sun.
Just can't see anything. Yeah.
Hi, Edward.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
So we're actually kind of amazed. We had to get out, and it looks like so did everyone else.
Yeah. Lockdown, right?
Yeah, lockdown.
Well, no, social distancing. People in groups are wearing masks, and yeah.
You see all these little condos, these little short condos here. The five levels. This whole area, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's a whole bunch of other ones down there that are more like row housing, and there's a bunch behind them. That whole area used to be a racetrack.
Greenwood Racetrack. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My mother worked at that racetrack. She used to pre-walk the horses before they raced in order to get them warmed up. That was her job. And so she worked out at the racetrack, and the racetrack is long gone. There's still a racetrack in Toronto, but it's outside the city. And there was a time.
Hey, Nofeli, how are you?
We're okay. We're getting fresh air for a change, which is really, really nice. And the sun is out, which is really, really great. So we thought we'd get out and have some veggie sushi, and then later on this evening we'll have our drumsticks. But this is the boardwalk. The Toronto Boardwalk is actually pretty long, and it's actual wood. Back in BC, the boardwalks were not wood; they were cement. I'm not sure why. So we used to go down to Steveston, outside Vancouver, down to Steveston, where they had this hybrid kind of like sawdust and plastic boardwalk panels that were supposed to be the wave of the future, but wound up cracking after about 3 years after being put in. But they're nice to walk. It's really good to walk and jog and on the wood because it's got a greater bounce back. So it's easier on your feet and it's less painful. Sunny day but cold here. Oh, it's cold here. Do you receive me? What do you mean by that? Was Martin's Karamia related to John Assens Gomez Adams? Well, actually before that, because the original,
John
Jonathan, yeah. So,
Julius,
but the original writings, the original comic books,
yeah,
he did as well. The characters always said that.
Although I do like Raul Julia's piece. His little monologue. Yeah.
Well, the new one.
I would kill for her. I would die for her. Either way, what this?
The new. So we got puppy. Hi puppy. No, this is our food. This is hi puppy. Who do you belong to? Hyper puppy. Hyper puppy. So yeah, the city's changed quite a bit since we last lived here. So it's really nice to get out. Is that water? Yes, that is, believe it or not, our friends from BC who helped us drive across country spent about a month with us, helping us settle in and to get to know Toronto because they'd never been to Toronto before. And one of our friends looked out at this large body of water and said, "That is not a lake. That can't be a lake." When you think about it, it's almost a small sea.
They're classified as inland seas because they're so big.
Do you remember me? Where are you now? We are down on the beaches in Toronto. I'm a Moroccan actor. I may remember.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. From Periscope. Yeah.
But that is Lake Ontario on the other side. Martin's going to feed me because I'm holding on to the camera. Okay.
One for you.
But that is Lake Ontario. It is massive. On a nice clear day, you can go up the CN Tower and see buffalo across the water. And if you look in the distance there, you can see a little teeny lifeguard house. That's been there since 1912 is the date on that one.
Something like that.
It replaced one that was built in 1906. But yes, you should take us to Toronto Zoo. Toronto Zoo is kind of closed and pretty pricey, actually. Yeah, pretty pricey to get in, actually. Thank you, Martin.
You're welcome.
It's we haven't been back to Toronto Zoo in years.
Oh, I know, yeah. Last time we were there was with your brother and his family before we moved to.
A renewal of vows.
Oh, that's right.
Went to Toronto Zoo the next day just to hang out and be away.
Right.
We should work with each other. Well, if you can get yourself to Canada when the COVID restrictions are lifted. Boston is a great city. But yeah, on a clear day, you can see the other side from the top of CN Tower.
Yep. Like immediately.
Famous actor here in Morocco. Nice. Now, hang on. You're eating way too fast.
One for you and one for me. Oh, you
Yeah,
still
you're eating way too fast.
Okay.
And I would love to have some ginger.
Want some ginger?
Yeah, I want some ginger.
Rather.
Can we slow down the eating?
Certainly. There you go.
You're not even, listen, you, Mr. Suction. You're like a freaking
like a farmer. I mean,
you're freaking no. You're It's wrong. You should at least chew. You should at least chew your food. You know. Tampa has a nice zoo. We have a pretty good zoo here. Like I said, I haven't been back in a long time. You want to travel to Toronto and Edmonton? Good choices.
Yeah.
Good choices.
Some great stuff in
now
Edmonton.
you can give me
Now
one.
I can give you one.
Now actually chew, Martin.
Chew your food. Whoop! Almost lost it. All right, here.
Yeah, we went with just veggie sushi. This one's cucumber and that was avocado, and partially because we'll be having meat when we get home. But we thought we'd get on and say hello to you guys, and then maybe take you for a bit of a drive around, because our fingers are going to get cold. It's not going to grow legs or run away, Martin.
Yeah, really.
Katrina's right. Any good aquarium? Well, when we left Toronto, there was no aquarium at all. Now that we're back, there is an aquarium.
That's right. Right downtown by the CN Tower, there's the Ripley's Aquarium. And they got sharks and manta rays and octopuses, octopi.
Octopi. And
octopi,
it tastes great when.
Octopi.
Yeah, octopi.
You have to cut it in eighths, so
yes.
It's octopi, right?
Thank you for taking the cue.
Other fish and sea turtles and you name it, but we haven't been there yet because
COVID.
It's COVID.
And pricey. Until we settle and start making the money back. Yes, I love the ginger. I don't know why. I love sushi ginger. I don't know why. This whole concept of pickled ginger just makes me happy.
I think she just bit my finger.
It froze on Martin.
I have that effect on
Vince says, "Oh my God, that highlight when Martin was eating slowly."
So it didn't actually freeze on me. It was just me eating so slowly.
That's right. And then this used to be this actually under there is still the original Victorian era bathing station they were called. And now they're referred to as beach houses, but yeah, somewhere under there is I think the planking is actually the original planking still.
Yeah.
The roof has obviously been done.
The roof has been redone, yeah.
Num num num
Num.
num. Maybe make a Martin meme. How long did it take you to drive from BC back to Toronto?
We took 5 days.
And
it was 5 days was pretty intense. It was.
I wanted to take 7.
Hours. Yeah.
But we had problems with our kitty cats. You see, the person who received the kitty cats here in Toronto, kind of spooked them, and they wound up finding a back opening into the wall, and they got stuck in the wall. So our 7-day trip suddenly had to become 5 days because we had to get back to them. We had to get to them because they weren't eating. They were stuck in the wall. Oopsie. I touched the screen. How many inches of snow has dropped there?
I think we got about 4
Eric.
inches.
You are so welcome for sharing, Azine. You're so welcome.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yay, the high word. Thank you, Yassine. Yeah, I think we got about 4 inches of snow. It's a little bit.
It's awkward to balance it that way.
It's melting.
Yeah, how far from Niagara Falls? About an hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half because that's around the lake. It's immediately right down there.
This is nothing. There have been winters where you can't get near anything. You just can't get near anything.
See, they put the snow fencing.
Wasabi? Just a teeny tiny bit. I don't love wasabi as much as he does. Okay.
And I'll make up for her not having much wasabi.
You're going. No going live. Okay. I'm tired. That's understandable. Yeah, we were gonna get on Vince's last night, but didn't wound up not doing so. But yeah, it's about 4 inches.
I don't know if they can see in the distance there in the sky. Probably
Oh,
not.
can you guys see the geese? Does this zoom in? Can I zoom in? Oh yeah, I can. Okay, well it's hard to keep. There we go. There you go. Canadian geese.
Lots of Canada geese.
Information.
Yeah, you see them start to create the V formations.
It's hard to stay still when you zoomed in. Did you WWE Royal Rumble preview? Nice.
Walk over here that's closer.
Oh yeah. If I can
Not as
find
many.
them. I can't find them. Bless you, Martin. Martin has this horrible reaction when there's cold and sunlight. As the light changes, so does his nose.
Triggers, yeah. Oh, actually, those geese are coming straight this way.
Oh, they are. Look at that. Let's see if I can focus in on them. Where are they? Okay. I'm going to zoom out so I can see what I'm doing. There they are.
Yep. They're going to go right overhead. Almost.
Cool. You can hear them too.
Yeah, they're going to go right overhead.
Bless you, Martin, Katrina says.
Thank you.
And you got these guys right here. Oh, Canada.
The V. There's the lead goose right at the front of the V.
Don't ever ask a Canada goose to feed from your hand.
Oh my God.
Sucker will take your hand off.
Canada geese are the reason Canadians are so polite. The geese have all the ill temper of Canada all rolled up into one.
They are loud. Yes, they are.
Here. Last one? No.
Mm-hmm.
My last one?
Then we switch to avocado.
Yeah.
So this is Toronto's idea of a lockdown. If there wasn't a lockdown, let me eat. Let me chew. Dude. If it wasn't a lockdown, there'd be twice as many people out here. Because even though it's cold, we don't care. The sun's out. You know, a little extra vitamin in your skin makes for happy people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I mean, the number of Victorian structures. Hey, when we're done eating, do you guys want to go for a drive? Yes, they are allowed, Katrina. I'm on them. Hopefully, no Canadian goose butter as they pass overhead. So far, I have never been crapped on by a goose. A seagull once, and that was because it was sitting on my head, trying to get popcorn from above, and Martin went and spooked it. I told him just leave it there. I was wearing a hat.
Scared the crap out of it.
Yeah, you. Thanks, honey. Bless Martin, and I was accepting you guys to come on my broadcast, and even though you guys didn't show up on my broadcast, it's all good. Yeah, we kept checking and checking. Vince.
Oh, Vince.
We kept checking and checking, and then it just got too late for us. We were normally I'm a night owl, but last night I really was not. We wound up on Michael's broadcast for a bit of a spiritual chat. I'll check again tonight if I'm still awake. Okay, honey? Hey, Sassy. At least it's not raining. No, this is true. BC would have rain.
Really, BC got some snow too the other day.
I had a bird poop on me once while I was walking home. You know, apparently, if you get pooped on by a bird, it's good luck. I don't understand if someone wants to look that up on the internet, but apparently, if a bird poops on you, it's good luck. I don't know how, but it is. I really don't know. I'm Martin says the wasabi is an unnatural color. But yeah, like these used to have, you see where all those boards are in the little frames? Those used to be windows. I remember being a kid, and they were like the Diamondplex windows, but they're all gone. They're not windows anymore. They're boarded up. I'm assuming a lot of people just broke them over the years because this building goes back to the early 1900s. Yeah, it's a washroom and change room. It used to just be a bathing station. Washrooms used to be like little wooden porta potty things on the beach, like down there on the beach itself. But yay, Victorian era. Really, yeah.
Ready for avocado.
Yeah, I don't know if someone wants to take a moment to go and check online, but apparently if a bird poops on you, it's good luck. I don't even know which culture that is.
Avocado. Avocado.
Hello, Dallas. So remember, Martin and I are focusing on sponsorships. And once they reach 40, we'll do some discounts and stuff like that and special things for sponsors. And we do appreciate the rewards you've given us so far. She says, try not to sound like your mouth is full when it is.
Mm-hmm.
So once we're done here, let's go for a drive around. Because my fingers from holding the iPad are getting really cold.
Little ginger.
Yes, little ginger, please.
Little ginger. Yum.
You're a redhead, naturally.
Me?
You're
Yeah.
my ginger.
Oh yeah, I'm your ginger.
You're my ginger. What? You're gonna. You look like you're gonna shove that in the camera. Ah,
Avocado.
avocado. What are you eating?
Veggie sushi. Avocado rolls.
Cheap sushi.
Cheap sushi from the grocery store, but it's passable right now for a snack.
We're calling it dinner part 1, so we have an excuse to broadcast. So we're not in any massive rush to get home. There are things to get done. We may or may not get back on. Don't know. But we figured we'd do this for a change to show you guys that Toronto is alive and well. People are, when they're close to each other, when they're on the boardwalk, most of them are wearing masks, which is good.
Keeping to their bubbles. The
Yep.
ginger.
No ginger. See, Martin and I are not wearing masks because we're off to the side in our own little bubble. It is beautiful. It is 4:47 in the afternoon. It does taste good.
So the sun's slowly working on setting. Shadows are getting longer.
As I tell my offspring, don't talk with your mouth open.
Hmm.
What? Don't talk with your mouth open? You mean don't talk with your mouth full?
I think that's the joke. Don't talk with your mouth open.
See you later, John. Love bug, thank you. Another high award. Hey, Martin, wave bye.
Hi,
There we
thank
go.
you, love bug.
Glad you guys are outside and streaming. I will always be here, whether you're out and about or building things once again.
Thank you, Vince.
I truly adore you both. Oh, thank you. It's a place in my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, Sassy. Another high award. Say hi, Martin.
Hi.
There we go. I can't because I'm holding on to the iPad. It makes it a little difficult.
I'll say hi for both of us.
That's right.
Okay, pick that up after.
Yep. Is this the dog walkers group meeting? Hello, Don.
There are many of them here.
But yeah, you see the fencing along the edge there. That's called snow fencing. Basically, it's put up.
It's a very Canadian thing to do.
Mm-hmm. It's put up so that the snow, when it blows, doesn't blow excessively onto the beach itself. Because then you get a sheet of ice. Of course, snow is going to fall on the beach, but the snow fencing keeps it from getting too buried in snow.
And keeps it from coming up too far on the.
And we have to keep in mind this is a lake.
Too.
So being a lake, it stays warmer longer. So once it warms up by the sun, any snow that's close to the edge of the lake melts anyway. Or one of you wearing a leash. No, I couldn't talk him into it.
No.
I tried.
Okay,
I really
secretly,
tried.
I'm wearing a leash under here.
Are you? Why didn't you tell
We'll
me?
find out later. We're not going to do that now.
Love you guys. I had a drive to North Acton, Ontario today.
Is it worth the drive to Acton?
Look, you smart.
That was the ad, right? The old Hyde House in Acton.
The old
Hyde House, I think, doesn't exist
still?
anymore.
Oh,
the building's still there. The sign's still there, but it's a different. It's like a little mini mall, shopping center, craft artisan space.
Oh my God, that place was awesome.
The old Hyde House.
Keeps most of the blowing snow off the beach. Yes.
Yeah. Keeps you from getting up on the paths into the parking lot.
Keeps it from clogging down the beach too.
Mhm.
Because yeah, it's not salt water, so it doesn't melt the snow the way an ocean would. That's
Mhm.
too much. If that's me,
Yeah.
that's way too much.
Lost myself there.
If it's
touch.
mine, it's
There we go.
not. That was too much. Okay.
There you go. Then I would have that one.
Martin has this thing with wasabi. I don't know
That's
why.
never enough wasabi.
Look at this. He's
Although
just
that
like,
wasabi is like that's an unnatural color. That's like almost yellow.
but you're like, do you taste the avocado at
I
all?
do. I do. You're waiting for the reaction. Right?
It's worth the drive. Lovebug says it is worth the drive. Yeah, but you don't react. Like, you have wasabi. You ate that wasabi ice cream every single time we went to the gelato place.
In Vancouver, yeah.
Yep, every single time.
Last little bit of ginger.
Yes. See, I'm the big ginger fanatic, so he knows better.
Yep. Ow! She bit my finger.
I saw my nephew who has COVID. Oh no, he seems much better. Oh good. Martin and Christina, since you both like sushi, do you guys prefer to have hot or even hotter? Well, this is cold sushi.
Or do you mean
I don't-
spicy?
Oh,
I
as in
think spicy.
I don't like spicy at all.
The wasabi's about the most that we do, and I like wasabi a little bit more than she does.
But I really love things like I haven't seen them here, the teriyaki rolls, the warm
Oh yeah.
chicken teriyaki rolls. But they're really
We haven't really been to
popular
a
in
lot of
BC.
sushi joints in
That's
Toronto
true.
yet.
Not since we got back, no.
Yeah.
I might not be wearing a leash.
one.
I'm so proud of you, Don.
Last one. And my last one.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can take our vitamin water back to the car.
Mm-hmm.
And,
What's he's like sopping up the wasabi.
it's all jammed in a little pocket in the corner. Wasabi in the corner pocket. Garbage cans there.
So you guys want to go for a drive? As the sun sets, you want to go for a drive and see part of Toronto? I don't know which direction we'll drive in. We'll let people cross because they are not wearing masks. Okay?
Say something about that.
I don't know. It sounded like fire. Oh my god, dude. I know. Leashes and vampires. What?
Leeches.
Leeches and vampires. Is that how you actually? Is that the new way to get rid of vampires? See, and we got recycled and garbage. So, as environmentally friendly as they can be.
Mm-hmm.
In BC, they have compost sections.
Some parks actually, I've noticed, have the compost ones.
Oh, do they now? Okay, good.
Starting to, yeah.
But yeah, all of this area here with these buildings used to be a racetrack. And that's where my mother worked for a while. She used to pre-walk the horses before the races. But the racetrack is now gone, and all these condos are in its place. Are you going to back the car up again for me to easily get in?
Yes.
Okay. I think you guys dropped, but glad you're back. Yeah, we did a little bit. I saw the flicker. They're not wearing leashes either. Nope, they aren't. Ah, sniffly. And you know you're on a Canadian beach because over there, if you can see it, you know you're on a Canadian beach when Tim Hortons is still open. It's such a tight fit. What time is curfew? In Toronto, we don't have a curfew. I'm gonna hand that to Martin. Careful not to
Not to accidentally take us out
Yep.
of the broadcast.
Yep.
That would be a shame. 24 minutes is nothing for a broadcast.
Yeah, there is no curfew in Toronto. There's a curfew in Montreal for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why, but Montreal, Montreal is in Quebec. So I'm trying to get my seatbelt on, and my wrap is wrapped different. It's stuck in it.
Of course, I can't drive now because I'm holding
And
an
you're like
iPad
finding a
and
new place.
we're blocking
Well,
the road.
hang on. The racetrack that was there was Woodbine.
Greenwood.
No, Greenwood. Greenwood. Woodbine's the other one that is still in existence. It's just northwest of the city. But Greenwood was down here. Woodbine is still around.
So do we want to head downtown?
Yeah, let's head downtown.
Let's head downtown. So we'll go around the loop here.
Round and round we go. Where we stop? Right into the sun, though. Unfortunately. Woo! But yeah, Katrina. They're not doing curfews in Toronto.
Yeah.
But they are closing stores early. So if a store closed at midnight, it now has to close at 9. The
Actually,
store
I think
closed
it's 8.
8
I
now.
think it's 8 p.m.
Okay.
For everyone.
So everyone, restaurants, stores, everything. Delivery is still allowed to go later, but I think the cap is 11 p.m. for delivery.
Yes.
So yeah, if you want your pizza, don't try ordering it at 11. At midnight. You're not gonna get it. And you like finding a new place? Yes. Part of the reason why we're out today is to get a money order for 2 months worth of rent, because it looks like the place on 30 Charles is the way we're going. It's going to basically cost us about $400 less a month, which makes me happy in some ways, but it's still struggling. I dream of the day for a house. What?
New York plate in front of us.
Oh yeah, that is
What's
a New York
he
plate.
doing up here?
Yeah, dude. Essential services possibly,
Must be
or
essential travel,
got
right?
stuck. Remember, a lot of Americans got stuck,
And there's
and
a Quebec plate.
it's not like they're fighting to get back.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, the Quebec plates are black and white, and ours are blue and white. Ontario plates are blue and white.
They get slightly blockier letters.
Let's see downtown Toronto, and bless you, Martin. So I'm going to keep the camera pointed forward unless you guys ask me to turn it around.
You can just see the downtown core now, and the CN Tower sort of on the left-hand edge.
Dawn, I have the beginnings of making a flex capacitor for my truck. Woohoo! Want to help consult? Always, darling. We'll even make you the parts if you pay us. We'll do you a quote. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a few.
Be warned, the sign is under test.
The sign is under test.
Warning, sign testing.
Not protest. So yes, this is all the lakeshore basically.
The water filtration plant down here.
So it's
water treatment plant.
Water treatment.
This is where the wastewater gets treated before it goes back in the lake.
Yes.
And farther east of here is the water filtration plant, where we take lake water, filter it clean,
yes,
use it for drinking water.
The water filtration plant that dates back to the mid 1800s is out east. So we are presently driving west. You can kind of see the CN Tower if the sun would let us. See, maybe. Quote. Can you guys show us the former hotel that you're going to move to? Sure, actually, Martin, you want to?
Drive by Charles Street.
Yeah, we'll drive by Charles Street.
Oh, we have to remember to close that.
Oh yes.
Later. I got back into the car when we just now, and
there's the CN Tower. The sky actually shows up a very interesting color on camera. It's not exactly that color. I think it's because the sunlight is right there, so the yellow rays are flushing out the actual color. It's looking very yellow. Oh, I got spots now. I heard that Canada canceled flights from Mexico and the Caribbean. Yeah, there's no other country in and out flights at the moment. They basically grounded any planes that are going in and out of country, except for Vital and what is it? Vital and Family.
Yeah.
Like family emergencies and stuff.
Yeah. And they've just announced they're stepping up procedures in the airports as well now. They're doing mandatory COVID testing for any flights arriving.
So you want to get off that plane and come into our country, you get a swab stuck up your nose, and you wait for the results.
Apparently they're doing that in Australia.
Yeah, you have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
You have to quarantine for 2 weeks at your own expense.
Yes. So if you want to come visit Canada and you're planning on a 2-week holiday, it's a month. They're actually starting to ask us too if we're coming from another province. It used to be, have you visited out of country? And now when you go into a place, they're asking you if you visited out of province. So they're even checking you and quarantining you if you're coming from BC or Alberta or any of the other provinces.
Because each province has its own level of lockdown and its own level of outbreaks. Right now.
I have a small circuit breaker box. I need to address some beginning rust. Strip the parts out of the inside, cut a window hole, add some plexiglass for the box to be ready. Cool. Nice. Now, this is part of the reason why we like living close to the city core, because these are all studios we're behind right now.
And on the other side of the street.
These are all the Revival Film Studios, which is where FX's series and Earth Final Conflict mostly shot. A lot of small productions too. And then we've got Showline just over there behind those trees. And then south of here, actually, do you want to just go south and then come back up north?
Let's see if we can. This person get to where they're going to go. Yeah, let's see if Commissioner Street's actually open. We might have to take a little bit of detouring, but we should be able to go past where I think you're thinking.
Well, and, Star Trek.
We just passed Studio City on the left as well.
Yeah,
and
back
Showline down the way that Christina mentioned is actually where they shoot The Expanse.
Yes.
That's all the standing sets.
Showline is just over there. And then a lot of these, the one that Martin was just talking about that we just passed on the left was like Blues Brothers and oh my God.
Some of the miniature segments for the first X-Men movie.
That's right.
We filmed that there.
And they're old studios, so that's one of the ones that were bought up by Netflix and is going to be a new studio will be built next to the old one because the old one was built in the early 70s and it's not in great shape. Yeah, so they're building a brand new studio right next to it. Netflix is building it, and then they're going to knock down the old building and build a new studio in its place. So, and you see this here down here, this building with the huge stack used to be
used to be a power plant.
Used to be a power plant.
It's the Hearn generating station. It was an old coal plant.
Of course, coal is illegal now.
Certainly not a good carbon footprint. And it's used extensively for film shoots. There's so many shows filmed in there.
So yeah, it's decrepit. It's in bad shape, but there's a ton of film shooting there. C is shot there, the series.
And notice a whole bunch of Discovery episodes. They went in there too.
Now this, you can see the domed top of the building there. These studios over here, yes, these are studios. They're huge. And all these buildings around the curved building, all of these large buildings here, this whole studio complex is Pinewood. And Pinewood Studios is mostly where Discovery is shot, and a number of other shows. Now that part is blocked off, so we're going to go up here instead.
Major reshoring. So I think we actually. Oh no, actually we can take. What's his name? Street. This next street. It's a little bumpy down here.
Nice. And how many studios do they currently have? Oh my God! In Toronto.
I can't even think of how many.
There's a whole bunch in Etobicoke. There's a whole bunch in Scarborough, which are all part of Toronto.
North York has a whole bunch of studios.
Yeah.
And, out in Mississauga and
all sizes. Like there's a lot of small studios that a lot of the smaller productions will work out of. And then there's the big ones for all the bigger shows. I don't know. I never stopped to count how many studios there actually are in Toronto in the area.
See, this area here is so low elevation to the lake that there's constant issues with flooding. So they've been doing major projects to mitigate the flooding in here and rebuild the roads and shore things up again. And I know there's going to be a whole bunch of new construction stuff going on here too.
Don't let the Canadian snowbirds back in Canada if they were in Arizona. Oh no. Most of them go to Florida. Are we good at, can we pop down to Cherry?
Yeah, down to Cherry.
See old buildings that they're trying to save.
Yeah, because there's a little channel here. There's the Bedford Channel, I think.
Yep.
For basically shipping for small vessels.
Hamilton has some studio spaces, yes, as well. And the women in the red gowns.
Right.
Damn it. I forgot.
Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale is shot in.
Well, their studios are actually in.
Well, down here they're part of Pinewood.
But they're in. They shoot all over, like Cambridge is major locations for them. They've shot in Brantford.
Yep.
All through
Cherry Street, I miss that area. So when I was a kid, we would always come down to Cherry Street as a family when my mother and father were still married. When the divorce kind of happened, it was rare. Every once in a while, my father would say, listen, Lise, come along. Let's bring the kids down to Cherry Street. And so we would take the bus, no matter where we lived in the city. We would take the bus. That's the old bridge we'll go over on the way back out. We would take the bus all the way down here, and it would be a 1-hour bus ride. But the reason we came down to Cherry Beach is it's kind of secluded in this back little corner. and it's so simple and straightforward, and it's out of the way. And they felt that handling 4 kids on the crowded main beaches, like down in the beaches itself, was too much. But coming down to Cherry Beach, right, where the only thing down here is these old buildings, and very little anything, just big open spaces, and a lot of shipping comes in and out. There's a port down here. There's actually 2 small ports down here, so the area is mostly industrial.
Small freighter right there. Wow.
Yes,
And
it
it's a
is.
little bumpy again because of all the road work being done.
So yeah, there's a freighter that's coming right now. You guys can kind of see it.
It's not huge, but
So we would take the bus down here, and I always knew we were going to Cherry Beach, and we always got excited when we went over. This is still an old drawbridge. This is still an old drawbridge. And oh yeah, by the way, there's a new drive-in down here. Can we go? Can we still go? Yes, we can. They're just fixing things. It's only 1 lane now.
yeah, the old drive-in right here.
Yeah, so we've got a drive-in here now. They've taken this. This used to be a a putting course.
Yeah.
And it still is. It's just there's the
driving
putting
range.
driving range, right? So they've added a drive-in to the driving range, so that
There's a bit of
people
ice
can.
there on the water. Here's that sound.
I don't know if you guys can hear that. The vibration of the grates.
The bridge.
So the bus would come down here, and there's only one bus that comes down here. You can see all the boats that are up in dry dock for the winter.
Wrapped up for the winter.
Hiya. What were those buildings before you turned? The ones that look fairly abandoned? They were various businesses and companies. Most of those buildings were built in the early 1900s, and they're attempting to rescue them. Like, I mean, look at this one. It's all temporarily kind of boarded up. They're trying to rescue. Oh, actually, it looks like the work on this building is done.
Yeah.
Park services for now. So here you go. This is little tiny Cherry Beach, and it's skinny and it's long. So a lot of people will come down here to do illegal bonfires because they're technically illegal, but on Cherry Beach, no one cares. Oh, it looks like the washrooms are closed because they got porta potties out.
Yeah.
And there's a huge dog park area over here. So
Area, yeah.
as a kid, and there's an old where is it? There it is. There's an old Martin rolled a little too far. And again, a little bathhouse type thing. Oh, shadies. These all date back to the 1900s, but the old. I'm trying to. Here. Well, yeah, you want to do that? Yeah. Go behind this guy. Go pull behind me, this guy. So you see that building over there? That little teeny. So they're still used, but all the major beaches, even the smaller ones, have actual lifeguard stations. And these things were built in the late 1800s and the early 1900s, and they're still operational today. So little teeny tiny Cherry Beach. It's very skinny and very long. So we used to come down here as kids.
Across the way is Cherry Spit. Right?
Yeah, that's a spit.
It's basically this tiny little thin spit of land.
They look like grain elevators. Well, we're gonna go back that way.
Oh,
so
the concrete, the silos. They actually.
the silos.
Yeah.
I don't think are they still grain elevators? Are they still
I'm
grain
not sure what
silos?
they're for.
Why is he beeping?
Oh, I managed to figure out how to just turn on the blind spot.
Oh, turn it off.
Yeah.
Makes me parent. Well, unless you need it.
I don't think I need it.
So we'll go on back up. And you can see little tiny Cherry Beach is just as popular during this weather as it is during summer weather.
The lot's almost full.
Well, there's the big overflow lot. So,
Yeah.
but it's uneven.
Yeah, it's like driving on a washboard.
So yeah, it would take about an hour to get down here by transit for us, and Mom would have this big picnic basket with both lunch and dinner. And there's these little barbecue pit things, these little metal things that you threw your barbecue, charcoals in, and you brought your lighter fluid. And so you had like a sandwich lunch, and then you had a barbecue dinner, and you didn't have to own a barbecue. And then exhausted, all four of us and my parents would go back to where we were living. But this old drawbridge, I remember when they were going to tear it down. They were going to get rid of it, and there was such a protest because they were going to put in a modern one. But there's a huge protest, so it stayed up. They fixed it, and it stayed up. That was always my favorite sound, the rumbling. So, oh yeah, the silos up there. Aha. Yeah, I can't remember. They were wheat. They were wheat silos at one time. They're not anymore. They've turned them into something else for a while, and then they changed it, and now it's just empty. Because there used to be a second bank of them, and I don't see the companies. Like, there used to be a big building next to it, so the building's gone.
That's a lot of open property.
Like the view. Well, we're gonna take you guys for a drive into downtown, and by request, we're going to go by the place we're going to be we're moving into, if everything works beautifully. It won't be until early April. So we're going to do the costume contest from our existing place. So once we organize that, there is a gentleman on Instagram who does body heroes. If you look up body.heroes, he does body positive uh, cosplaying. So I've sent a request to him, not only to join HAPS, because I think he would do really well talking about body positive stuff on HAPS, but I want him as our third judge. So we'll see if he'll say yes. So if you go on Instagram and look up body.heroes, tell him you want him as our third judge. Tell him you want him on HAPS. Because I already sent him the invite, so he should listen.
That's right.
But yeah, here's the Cherry Street Grill that's been here forever.
Can't remember what the building was before that. Next to it's one of the old Toronto Hydro.
But these guys, I don't know, we haven't been in since we got back, but these guys always serve the best fries. And yeah, there's a Toronto Hydro building there.
There used to be a couple of big oil tanks here on this lot.
But yes, these used to be wheat grain silos.
So, yeah.
Well, there was the other bank is over there, and there used to be that's the second set over there. There used to be a very large building in between the two, but they were grain silos. But the building is gone. It looks like they demolished it.
And then a little farther west is the Red Path Sugar.
Yes. You can drive by Red Path and still curve up.
Go down Kutzke.
So there's the one single bus that goes down here.
Yeah.
The 72. So good food. Food, yes. Oh my God, Cherry Street. We haven't been since we got back, but Cherry Street Grill. Oh, their food was always like, oh. You know, the times that Mom got lazy or Dad didn't feel like dragging the briskets, we would stop at Cherry Street.
Euphemism? Dragging
No,
the
it's not. No, it's not a euphemism because we're not that kind of broadcast. Briskets, dragging the briskets. My father would make that into euphemism. No, there was a Cherry Street Grill there. The existing place did open in 2016, but there was Cherry Street Grill. It wasn't Cherry Street Barbecue, it was Cherry Street Grill. So I don't know if someone bought the company or they updated it or what. Hey, John. So just underneath that little underpass, and on the other side is the Distillery District, which we brought you guys to before, which is all the Gooderman and Warts buildings. But yeah, see, there's the other silos. These have been empty since, the late 80s. And they just, apparently people break in there all the time, and, there's residual of powder and stuff from all the grain that used to be in there. And okay, I wonder if it's the same owners or not. I don't know. Which is why when I saw that, I was like when we first got back and we went driving, when I saw that, it was like, oh my God. And then I realized there was a name difference. So, but it's still Cherry Street. So I don't know.
Look at all the condos.
Yeah, these are all brand new.
Brand new condos. Some of them still under construction.
This used to all be factories and stuff. So there's a lot of historical buildings that unfortunately have not been rescued.
And
But this is
unfortunately, quite often it's a matter of they can't be.
uh,
They're just not structurally sound.
they were neglected so badly. So this is all harborfront area. Fellow Hamiltonian. How do you say Hamiltonian?
Hamiltonian.
Oh, where's
Where's
One Young Street? I gotta make sure I point that out.
over
Any of you
towards
into
Sherburne's.
any of you into Superman? Who here is into Superman?
I mean, who isn't?
There are some people who aren't as big into Superman as the rest of us, you
I
know.
want to know. Well, maybe I don't.
Is owned by a guy named Lawrence. I was too young to know the guy's name. Maybe I should check at some point.
This is the Red Path Sugar.
This is Red Path Sugar.
We're Jarvis.
This has been here for ages. When we were kids, we'd have school outings, and we were shown. There's a whole section, educational section at Red Path Sugar. I love this mural. Always have loved this mural. But there's a section that's all educational, and they show you how they refine the sugar and it literally does smell like candy in there. And then we always got lollipops at the end. At the end of the educational thing. Did you know brown sugar is just sugar before the last process where they bleach the molasses out? That's all brown sugar is.
Street. I think this is Young Street coming up.
Superman is okay. Green Lanterns might go to. Well, I like Superman. Okay, Superman was created in Toronto by two university students, and this is One Young Street. One Young Street, this building here, which has had a bit of a modern outer edge. And oh yeah, about down there is still Harborfront, and you don't want to go down to Harborfront.
Oh,
Are you in a right turn only lane?
I am at this point.
Sorry. Because down there is all the Harborfront where I used to go for summer craft programs and stuff with my father. But yeah, so One Young Street here. This more 1960s outer core has been built over the original building. But this is the Toronto Star, which used to be the Toronto Globe. So the Toronto Globe used to have a large planet on the top of it. It's hard to see because I'm in the car. A large planet on the top of it with the circular thing around it saying the Toronto Globe. Guess where the Daily Planet came from? Because a lot of these buildings didn't exist back then. Buildings were much shorter back then. So from the University of Toronto campus, the two creators of Superman could see the globe on the top of the Toronto Globe. So yeah, One Young Street is technically the address of the Daily Planet. Sugar is naturally brown. Well, what they do is a cleansing process. Apparently, is they put molasses in the sugar as part of the refining process. So once the sugar is refined, in order to make modern brown sugar, they leave the molasses in. To make white sugar, they bleach it back out, which I think is kind of silly. But raw sugar is the natural color. Yes, it's brown, but not like brown sugar. You can make brown sugar by adding molasses to white sugar, and you can make darker brown sugar by adding molasses to brown sugar. Exactly. Just giving you a hard time. I know Superman is a great hero for Canadians since he was created by a Canadian and American duo. See, Americans and Canadians have been friends for years, folks. That would have been cool to see. Queen's Quay, Quay, Queens Quay.
Pronounced key.
That would have been cool to see. Superman was a scout. I have seen a shot of Superboy number 13. Yes. Yes. Yes, of course it's Harold.
Of course it's Harold. If it's a comment about scouts.
So we're going to do a little more of Harborfront, and then we're going to go up to where we're going to be moving to. And of course, this all hinges on that final paperwork, and we should know very soon. So we will have the place. If they say yes, we'll know before the end of next week. And when we have the place, technically it'll be ours April 1st. But since our last month is already paid at this place, We're going to take advantage of that and move in April 15th. That way we can have 2 weeks to slowly phase over. The place can be cleaned before we're actually living there. Because the place we're in right now took months to get the black off the. What are these people doing in front of us?
Dancing?
I hope so.
They are dancing
because we are not that kind of broadcast. They are. They're definitely providing entertainment.
The red tail lights from.
I can understand why some Americans hate Canadians. I can't understand why some Canadians hate Americans. I can't understand why some Brits hate Canadians. You know, it's just
why people hate people.
Yeah, I can't understand why people hate people. People are people, so why should it be? You know? Yay, fingers crossed for you both. Thank you. We're gonna be putting you to work, Jeff. Jeff, you're helping us move because I know you'll be COVID safe. I will keep my fingers crossed. Thank you. But yeah, you can see these much older buildings tucked
that little one. That's
in between
Toronto
the new
Harbor
ones.
Building.
Yeah, that's the Toronto Harbor Commission. And the Center for Harbor Post.
Oh, okay, that's right.
And that's the old conference center. This is the big new one at the bottom of the CN Tower. But at one time, that was our only big conference center in the city. Was in yeah. And I've gone to many a Q107 party there. Q107 is a radio station.
There's the hotel itself.
Down there are the ferry docks. The ferries are closed right now unless you live on the island. The Toronto Islands are just out there. But yeah, you cannot get over right now because Centerville and everything is closed because of COVID. So they're only running one ferry now instead of the 6 they normally run. And it's only for residents. We discovered that when we came down and thought we'd go over to the island for a day. And they said, nope, COVID. We're like, oh, man. If you're not essential services or living on the island and have come over to the mainland to get food and stuff, they're not letting us over to the island. So you see that building right there? That is, with the clock on top, that is Queen's Quay. That building has been there my whole life. And there's like this whole center on the bottom, and then there's Harborfront Quay a little further down. And we used to go to like children's programs there, and the two educational tall ships are usually docked either next to it or Harborfront Center. So this is all my childhood. And these streetcars are new to down here. We used to get off at the, this Union Station subway. That's not very smart, dude. And walk down in order to get down to the quays. A little tugboats and dock. Hockey, red, green, and Superman. Nice.
All things Canadian.
Canadians have given the world so many great things. We also gave you basketball.
That's right.
A Canadian invented basketball. I can't remember what country he was in at that time, but he was one of those, volunteer third world country workers. And he was Canadian, and he invented basketball to keep them occupied. On Haps, how do you find the people who are alive? It'll say live. You'll see the little live thing, and if you go to your feed, you'll see there will be a little list of people, a small list of people who are live. Usually based to.
Usually at the top of the list, aren't they?
Yeah. Well.
There's Harborfront Center there.
Finding replays, you have to know who to look for. So that was Harborfront Center we just passed. Also, what is up with the broadcast from yesterday where when I can't on, it does not seem to be viewable on my profile? What? Okay.
Ours?
Yeah. I've been having a hard time seeing it at all. So just do an at Pablo and at Peter and let them know. Let them know. And there's a little art center there that we just passed, a little one-story art center that used to be a boat dry dock repair, and was turned into a little art center. Has a little theater in there, and Calfred, look on the person's profile. That's right. Joe Schuster is cousin to Frank Schuster, Wayne and Schuster. Mm-hmm. That's right. Canadians get. I can't seem to find my copy of Canadian Conspiracy, so I'm gonna have to find it. But On this side, as you can see, there's the top of the Sky Dome, which is now the Rogers Center. I don't know what they're doing here. And then the CN Tower is all the way up there.
Can you see through the? Can you bend back and see through the sky?
I'm not that flexible. My arms are not that long.
These are little billboard postings about people with masks and social distancing and stuff. Little island ferries, a couple of tugboats. I think as we come past the next building, usually where at least one of the tall ships is docked.
If they move them, because they used to be next to the Queen's Quay, so it's possible they moved them. So none of these existed when we moved.
Yeah, right.
None of those existed.
Old industrial land when we last lived in Toronto.
Yep. It's nice to see they rescued this building, although I don't like the gray frontage of it. It used to be red brick. But that's definitely the same building. But that was standard building size for the buildings down here.
And I think 100 years ago, this was the lake. This was in the lake.
Broadcast skipped just as you were replying. Did not catch your reply. I'm sent. Oh, what on the you don't see the part where you were on? Yeah, just like at Pablo and at Peter in the comments for that broadcast. Do we want to weave through Skydome?
Yeah, we can do that. Up here?
Yep. It was James Naismith who was a Canadian American. Yes.
That's right. Oh, are we sure? Not supposed to go. What's going on here?
Who invented basketball? Oh, what's his name?
James Naismith.
Yeah, it was James Naismith.
Yeah. This is not going to help us.
Can't remember. He got his American citizenship after he came back.
I think this is actually entrance to
Well,
the parking area.
It's gone under before. I don't know if they changed it.
We'll find out.
There are 4 officers that just
I think one of
went by.
One of the division lots or something is down here. Yeah, no, this literally just goes to the parking garage.
They cut it off.
Yeah, it's actually it could be the next one that we take.
They cut it off. Well, go over around.
Go around. And it comes out on the other side of that parking lot.
Yep, it should, unless they change that. Yeah, because you used to be able to go through.
Yep.
They changed things. I didn't know he was Canadian. Mm-hmm. All those buildings, those didn't exist when we left too. There were condos there when we left, but they weren't that tall and they weren't that shape. So they were this, like that one there. That one was here when we left, and those were the same height.
New funky shaped ones are all brand new. Yeah. All right, so go back out and we'll take the next actual street.
There's been a lot of changes, and it still looks like there's even more changes. So Martin and I are still getting reused to our city. Hi, Shane. We're driving around Toronto because it's too cold, and Martin and I needed to get out. So we left the 3 cats to kill each other. I mean, play with each other.
That's
right. Hi, Shane. There's a lot of Quebec people here right now.
Oh, wow. There's a brave soul. There is a homeless tent. Covered in tarps. It's got a little snow shovel next to the tent. Half buried in the snow.
Oh, Canada.
It's like an igloo almost.
I guess in some ways, yeah. If there's a few of them in there, they'll keep each other warm.
Yeah.
You love touring.
Like bears.
Yeah, we thought we'd do something different for you guys today. And we burn less gas with the hybrid, so doesn't mean we should burn all our gas, but we're not going to this time. Because, well, hybrid. Yes, I would love my liquid. And I would love to see the... there we go. I'm going to try to hold on to this iPad because it's a fair size and drink my liquid. How long did you live in BC? I moved October 19th, 2001, and was there for, I had a ticket back 3 months later, in case the industry stayed here and the production stayed here. And when they shut down, because Martin stayed here to finish the productions he was working on, and then when they shut down, he called and said, "Stay put, I'm coming." So he joined me February 15th,
16.
16th, 2002, and then we moved back April 1st, 2019.
Lower Spadina.
Of course, there's much more lakeshore down there. We'll have to do it on a different day. I didn't live in BC long enough. I love how the sun is going down. Yeah, isn't that pretty? We got snowbirds. Yeah, yeah. They'll do anything to go anywhere south. Yeah, another time we'll do like the CNE or and the other part of Lakeshore.
And hopefully this August, if everything gets lifted again and things run again, we'll actually be able to do the CNE like we did on Periscope.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah. April 2019, I was in Texas. Yes. That's right.
Hey, who's asking about the aquarium here? Is this the one? We'll be going past that too.
I think a text message came in. I am struggling underneath all my layers. If you can go to Paramount Wonderland, well, we have to afford to. So find a lot of financial recovery, and Wonderland, of course, is completely closed down because of the whole COVID. So hopefully this summer they can open. Because again, how much of a financial loss can they suffer? And the CNE was missed this year. The CNE is very much historical.
Oops.
Moved back to Vancouver August 2020. Right, and then the whole COVID thing. Sorry, I did get a text. That's why I was checking my phone. And then you had to go back to the States, right? Oh, honey. CNE during pandemic. Interesting how that would work. I don't think it would. Look at fat bastards. I love the name of some of these places. Sorry, August 2019. Okay, that makes sense. That makes more sense. So a lot of construction going on. So that's the Sky Dome, aka Rogers Center. If you look way straight up, all the way up there is the CN Tower. We got messy windows, honey.
Yeah, I know. I think this car already needs a bath.
This car seriously needs a bath.
Needs a dragon bath. Toronto Blue Jays.
Toronto Blue Jays. Now over on the other side here, as we go through here, there is this roundhouse you see at the base of the CN Tower because they tore out a lot of train tracks in order to build the CN Tower. This is the roundhouse right here. Now, this roundhouse for the longest time was empty. It was just sitting here running with a ton of trains inside it, just doing nothing. In the time that we were gone to the time that we were back, they not only cleaned it out and made it into a big game center, it's a train museum now. So it's got a bar in there, it's got a brewery in there, and it's got a huge, palladium type game center in there, and it's so different. But when I was in a band, we broke into here when all these engines here that you see, the outdoor ones here when we get to it, all these guys here, they were all inside being neglected. So we somewhere in history in a photographer's archive is photographs of me in a very 1980s look on some of these engines with like everything dusty and grimy. But now it's a train museum as well as a bar and a palladium kind of place. But we were very happy to see the Roundhouse rescued because I was worried they were going to break, pull it down. Toronto Convention Center.
Just past Ripley's Aquarium.
Yeah, the aquarium's back there, the base of the CN Tower, through Martin's Head. So now we'll drive up. Now we'll drive up to where it looks like we're going to be moving to. Steam Whistle Brewing, yeah. I would love to see that. Well, honey, I swear when the COVID's over, anyone who's got money, even if it's just like on a budget, we'll tell you where to go to, where to stay on a budget, or if it's just one of you come stay with us, we'll throw you on the couch for a couple weeks. But come on up.
Go up York.
We'll go up York. Okay.
Go past Union Station.
Oh yeah, Union Station. We got to show them Union Station.
Get up to the place.
Union Station's going up York is going to be on the
right.
The right. So that's good. Martin thought ahead. So all that entranceways and yeah, this is all the modern, like the added parts to Union Station. There's a whole bunch of new stuff added to the Union Station. I got to come back for a retour. Walked all over Toronto downtown last night. I went, oh, honey, so much has changed. So this beautiful, beautiful hotel is the Royal York. And it is the same architect as a number of the other hotels around the world. The Victoria in Vancouver is the same architect, as well as some. See, you can see the American flag as well up here. Yeah, same architect. This is Union Station. Union Station was built in the late 1700s. It started, and then it was completed construction in about the mid 1800s, and is still the central hub for all the trains and the transit system and all the transit lines. And the inside of it looks a lot like in New York, Grand Central Station. So it gets used for a lot of production shoots to pretend it's Grand Central Station. What?
Hey, look, we have a green light, but we can't go anywhere.
Nope.
Welcome to downtown Toronto.
Yep. And this is Canada Post head office and original Canada Post station. Basically, they have their own little train station in the back. And this building was set up to distribute all the post back way when the city was established. Distribute all the post through the city, through underground passageways, the large major buildings, and then distributed from there. So there are a ton of underground passageways. They're all blocked off now, but they all lead from this building. And then the Hockey Hall of Fame, which used to be a bank. That's right. And it's haunted by Dorothy. Dorothy is an ex-bank teller who committed suicide in the upper washroom, which is really hard to angle to show you up there. But because she was in love with the bank manager, and the wife found out, and she got fired, and so she committed suicide on her last day. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down. I watched all over. Does Amtrak come into Canada? It does on the West Coast. It doesn't here. So you see a lot of Amtrak trains in BC, but you don't see them in Ontario or Quebec. Union Station looks so fancy now. It always looked fancy, Jeff. Union Station looks so fancy now inside. You got to promise not to throw me. I might fly too fair. I'm so tiny.
Too far?
Too far? Royal York, where Home Alone 2 is filmed. That's right.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, I almost forgot. Hi, Emily. Hi. There's the old part and the new edition renovation. Yeah, the new edition is kind of cool with the big, huge food court and stuff.
The York Concourse where all the GO trains.
Yeah. Yes. Won't show Michael Coleman the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Thanks for sharing that. You're welcome, Katrina. New York is too big for me. I'd get trampled to death. crossing the street at rush hour. Well, this is awfully tame because of COVID.
Where is he? Oh, he's coming up.
It's normally much more chaotic. Everyone stay put.
Metrotron, please.
The new cop cars are so slick.
Yeah. We're going up Young Street.
Yeah, Toronto's kind of like the northern New York. We're a lot alike in many ways. Oh, skunk. Hockey Hall of Fame was built so that Torontonians would have the opportunity to see what the Stanley Cup looks like up close.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, that's mean. But true.
But true, yeah. You want to go to New York. New York's pretty exciting. I mean, I was only there once, and it wasn't for very long. But it's pretty exciting. I like it. No. You can see Yonge Street is always straight up. You're not allowed to turn left or right. Hudson Bay Building, which now includes Saks Fifth Avenue. Hudson
American chain come in to rescue.
There is old footage. There is a web page, like a group, a page on Facebook that has old footage of downtown Toronto taken from the top of the Hudson Bay Building, and it's amazing how much didn't exist back then, and how many of these buildings did exist, because this was considered a tall building back then.
All 6 stories of it.
Oh no, it's spelled correct. Love's picking on me. Oh. That's okay. We're doing the best we can. I can usually read past spell check, so I'm pretty good at that. They use
She's multilingual.
Camaros for the cop cars here. Do they really?
What, down
in Texas?
Texas? Wow.
We have cop trucks.
Here, they're Dodge Chargers, I think.
Yeah, the Chargers. I so want a Canadian hockey team to win the cup. It would be nice for a change, yeah.
Yeah, us Canadians really want a Canadian hockey team to win the cup, considering we created the sport.
Are the downtown buildings shared with residentials? Some of them, not all of them. It really depends. Like the Hudson Bay is the Hudson Bay, but this is an ex-bank. It's still got a small bank on the main level, but the building itself has been divided into offices, and the upper floors of this building are all, like, it's built on top of it, as you can see, is all condos. Thanks for broadcasting your drive through New York. No, it's Toronto. It's much safer for me this way. We are in Toronto. We are in Canada. These are all like little old buildings, all tucked in between newer ones.
Winter Garden Theater.
That's right. We did pass through the Elgin. We passed by the Elgin, and up here is the Pantages.
Is it wrapped?
Hello from Dallas. Toronto is so beautiful tonight. It is.
Pantages? No, Pantages is just coming up here. It's all dark.
Yeah, it's all dark because there's nothing going on. Theaters aren't allowed to open.
It's now the Ed Mirvish Theater. That's where Hamilton was running until the lockdown happened. Eaton Center on our left, and now we're
Eaton Center has been there forever. The original old Eatons that used to exist at this end, unfortunately, only pieces of it exist inside the modern building, but they more or less encased it because it was crumbling.
Someone's getting arrested at the Shoppers.
Someone is getting arrested at the Shoppers. Yay!
That was that police cruiser that went whipping past us.
Oh, good point. Martin's being observant.
Yep.
Something happened at the Shoppers Drug Mart. But this is kind of like our answer to Times Square when you think about it.
Young Dundas Square.
Yeah. Young Dundas Square, yep.
Oh, look, there's Patrick and Mark.
The Uber Eats ads with Mark Hamill and Patrick Stewart. Now, if you look up at the very top, Sam the Record Man used to be a record store on Yonge Street, just a half block up from here. The building's gone. I'm hoping they saved all the autograph because the walls were autographed by all these performers. But the Sam the Record Man sign was such an iconic thing that they decided to mount it on the top of one of the newer buildings. So it sits up there now. For some reason, the records don't look as bright as they normally do. So I'm not sure what's happening, but usually they're brighter. If you look, you most notably would find it at Police Academy 1 when they're driving up, an American street, New York street. They go right past the Sound the Recommend sign, and it is so clear on so many of the shots. You see it in other movies too, but that's probably the most clear and distinct. Uh, where are the eateries? Everywhere.
Everywhere. Oh my god.
So, do you have any Hello Kitty stuff? Reason why I ask is my Hello Kitty obsessed. I'm sort of well known for it. Well, eminently, if you want us to make something Hello Kitty and we can find the files, we can easily quote you some unique stuff. But we don't have any, no. People tend to call me either Hello Kitty Kitty. And drugs has more to offer than shoppers in many ways, but this is the Ryerson University campus. This is where Sam the Record Man used to be. And many of my rock star memories come from Sam the Record Man because I used to go to all the autograph sessions. Or the Hello Kitty girl. Is this the theater district? The theater district is actually down on King, but those two older theaters on Yonge Street were rescued. And you can see this building, they're keeping the frontage. But they're going to put a modern building inside it, but they're keeping the frontage. So it'll look like the old building that was there, but inside will be a modern building.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of that because the facades are so iconic, but the interiors of the building, they're just not structural enough to even be able to rescue anymore.
Choco Kitty. They probably put a dimmer switch on the record to save on the electric bill. Possibly, it is a really old sign. It is old fluorescent tubes, so to speak.
Old neon.
Neon, sorry, yeah. But this whole section of Yonge Street that we've just passed, including the next 2 or 3 blocks, used to all be arcades and head shops. This is where most of my childhood and teenage years was spent. While Martin was in little tiny Brantford, Ontario, living the small town life, this is where I grew up.
Missing out on all the action.
You did. You missed out. Sorry, honey.
Yep.
So that is College Park to our left. Unfortunately, the construction that's going on right now is kind of blocking the view. But the big, huge ballroom that's in there is no more. It's a series of meeting rooms. But there used to be this massive ballroom. So, like, yeah, in the 40s, the 1930s and 40s, people would go to big dances. And, it was built in the early 1900s. But most of the photographs from the ballroom are all like the 1940s and just gorgeous. All these streets bring back memories. Cool, Shane. Got a Hello Kitty production. That's perfect. I have bunches of Hello Kitty stuff, but you should make yourself Hello Kitty stuff to bring you good luck. Oh, there's a lot of things that can bring good luck, but we only have so much material at this time.
Oh,
so we're doing a lot of custom stuff and not a lot of mass-produced stuff. So if there's something in particular, that you'd like us to do, look back at some of our other broadcasts. We'd be happy to help you out. I swear in a past life I was Canadian. Shane, I wouldn't be surprised. Don't tell her about the Hello Kitty airplane and food truck.
Oh.
It's true. And you see we've got the spire, the middle section of a building that was here with its bell tower. So they're building a new building on this spot. So they've managed to save the bell tower and clock tower of the building itself. And they're going to incorporate it into the new building. Because, again, another iconic building that people relate to Yonge Street. And if you look closely, I know it's dark, so it's hard now. If you look closely, a lot of these are old buildings with just, more modern frontages on the bottom for the stores. So they've been modified over the years. Someone was enthusiastic. Yay, driving in Toronto. Don't drive in Toronto unless you have nerves of steel.
Yep.
Try to get people to get themselves Hello Kitty stuff so everyone can have kitty good and fortune. Thank you, Emily, but we're more dragon people than we are kitty cat. Like we're kitty cat people, but not Hello Kitty. It's just not my thing. It's okay. Okay, throwback to a Toronto location no longer around. His Majesty's Feast. Oh my
Oh, yeah.
lord. That's on the other, well, was on the other part of Lakeshore. That building's now gone. Long gone.
Closest thing we have now is the Medieval Times at the C&E grounds. Of course, not operating right now because of the lockdown and COVID.
But I remember His Majesty's Feast, yeah. I'm a cataholic Hello Kitty girl. I know these things. Too late, I already know I'm on the front of everything Hello Kitty. Great, Emily and Shane are just going Hello Kitty gaga.
Right.
Are there any old fire stations? Tons.
Oh, yeah.
Tons. And another building where they're saving the frontage, but it'll be a modern building put behind it. But you can see a lot of these are the old original buildings. It's just the main floor has been modified to have modern stores in it. Emily, people consider Hello Kitty the Diablo. Oh, did I get my scarf in my... Oh, you put the lid on, okay. You see all these older buildings. Then you got these newer ones in between. A lot of these types of buildings were built in the 70s and the 80s. These kind of squared off, plain buildings. A lot of the buildings here are brick. Even the more modern ones tend to be brick. There is a lot of clay in Ontario and Quebec that is really just brick worthy. So majority of the buildings here are brick. Now this place over here that's got the Tika tea house and the McDonald's used to be Mr. Gameway's Ark, which was a massive toy store. And the second floor and the basement, the main floor, and the second floor all had toys, model kits, geek collector items, and games, and yeah, Mr. Gameway's Ark. And on the third floor was the original home for the Star Trek Club that built the Star Trek bridge that we had to rebuild and bring up to code. So when it was built, it was 1976. So it was built in 1976 on the third floor of this building, and there was a fire, and it kind of survived. It had to be rescued, which is why we were called in. But yeah, so that was a game store and a hobby collector store and models and all that great stuff. But the fire kind of damaged the inside of the building quite a bit. So Gameway's Ark moved out, got a much smaller location, and the McDonald's was put in.
There's Chick-fil-A. I think that's the only Chick-fil-A in
That
Toronto.
is the only Chick-fil-A in Toronto. That's why it's got a huge lineup.
Good for turning 552.
Did you know there's Hello Kitty Dragon stuff? Actually, there's Hello Kitty everything. I know, but it's still not our thing, honey. Hello Kitty's not our thing. We respect people who it is their thing, and that's great. We'll make stuff for them, but we just don't. Not for us. We had to really drastically cut down. We had to downsize from a 1,700 square foot house to a 700 square foot studio apartment. And now our equipment is part of our life as opposed to being in a shop outside. No, we're very particular now. Very protective. Mexican people are very superstitious with Hello Kitty. Best not to mention it to them. Oh, okay. I would love to restore an old firehouse. You could find a bunch here. Maybe some of them could really
use. They're all in use, though.
Yeah, they're all in use, or they've already been converted. There might be one. Oh my God, they're just jealous Hello Kitty is so popular. They must be Barbie fans. Chick-fil-A always has a lineup. Yeah, well, it's the only one in Toronto, so it always has a lineup. So we've basically turned a bit east, and then this is, this is Church Street. So this is Church and Bloor, and basically this is the top of the gay district. So there's a whole stretch of church here, which is all, LGBTQ friendly or owned or run. And it's one of the most extravagant, lovely neighborhoods. It has some of the oldest buildings. And here it's always busy, but they're very fast. So you can see they're rescuing all these old buildings too. You can see the construction fence around it. Big, huge, old houses that used to be estate houses,
So it's all protected and wrapped.
all being protected. So some of them, the building itself wasn't rescuable. This one on the end was an old apartment building. Go slow, Martin. You can see the top of, this was an old apartment building, as you can see from the windows and everything. But they've only managed to rescue the facade. They weren't able to rescue the building. So we're not sure what they're making it into. Hopefully another apartment building. They're rescuing that building. It's really dark, but it's because it's a dark, dark, dark brick.
Space just in front. Right behind that van.
Good, cool. So the building that we are submitting for,
Tree right in the way.
it's okay, is this one. That unit right up top. Third floor right there that's got the lights on. Here, I'm gonna leave Martin in the car for a minute. It is so very different than Vancouver. You're right, Shane. So you can see how this is where Queer as Folk was filmed. Did they?
I think we were
I think they
shot
did.
Toronto.
Yeah. Martin's gonna stay in the car so that we don't get a parking ticket. This building here next to it was built in the 1930s. But yeah, check this out. We're right next to a parking garage. But I want to show you these lines. I know, isn't it gorgeous? But all, hardwood and. But I'm hoping you guys can see these. Here. It's a center stairwell. And of course, at one time, these would have been torch lamps. So Toronto's full of these buildings. All right, Shane. Support his family. Pay for them. I hope I get to. Because even though it's not a huge place, it is a beautiful building. Gargoyles are amazing. Yeah, they're lions. So it would be that top one right there. The old church across the street, that became a club for a while. That little church over there became a nightclub for a while. Don't know what it is now. But slip sliding away.
Slippery in spots.
Of course it's slippery in spots. Hang on. I'm gonna hand you to Martin. Okay. Ah! Boom. They might think Hello Kitty is a cat, and really she isn't. She's a third grade little girl from the suburbs of London. You tell it's a lovely building. Well, this is most of the building is still intact. There's gas stove and so gas still running through the building, and there's wainscoting, which excites Martin for some reason.
Gas stove excites me too.
A lot of Art Deco elements. Yeah, well, it's had some upgrades, of course, over the years. It's kind of, I don't know if you can call this quiet neighbors, but
The
parking garage.
Yeah, well, at least we don't have like a alley with garbage trucks and stuff next to
Oh
us.
yeah, they're driving me crazy. So just to give you a reference point, that is Mr. Game. Well, was Mr. Gameway's Arc again. I spent a lot of time in this building. So of course, when we saw that a unit was rentable in that building, it was just like, oh, I know that building. I know that building. Ah. But it was built in 1904, 1905? 1904.
I've noticed it's in the lease agreement. Tenants will acknowledge that this building is over 100 years old and therefore requires periodic maintenance and renovation and things along those lines.
Oh, sweet. Yep. Which isn't in the lease that we presently signed.
Because they'd have to say tenants must recognize that this building is a piece of shit that's falling apart and we don't care.
Even though it was built in the late 1800s.
Yeah. Hey, pardon my French.
No. You're Canadian.
Piece of shite.
Piece of shite. Yeah.
Piece of shite. And now we're going south on York Street.
Oh. We skipped over Stormcrow.
Oh, Stormcrow, yeah.
There is a possibility, though, in order to park, we'll have to park 2 blocks away in another building, like owned by the same company. What is this building? Rents in Toronto coming down? Yes, they are, Sunshine Bliss. Mm-hmm. Yes, they are. Not as much as we would like, and still too small, but at least it's a well-maintained old building, and once everything is said and done, it winds up being about $400 less a month. But how much longer do we want to go? It is 6:00 only. Yeah. I don't know. Do we want to try to go past Stormcrow and then go through the C&E? I mean, how's our gas?
177 kilometers. Doing pretty good.
What is this building? The building that I got out of the car to show, the one that we'll probably be moving into. So everyone, fingers crossed. And we could use some mojo. Some positive moving mojo. Hell, if we can reach the 200 before April 1st, I will tell you when I cash in, all that money's probably going to go towards the move. Turn around, go in. Eats at Stormcrow. Can't go into Stormcrow. You can only do pickup. Can't even go in. They have a table set up outside. That's part of this lockdown. At Shoppers, what? Mojo? Funky buildings. So we're going to double back to Church Street here. Nice thing about Church Street being the gay neighborhood is they've rescued a lot of these buildings, and it's become very much part of their identity. So at Halloween, this whole section from a couple blocks south all the way up to Bloor is usually cut off. It wasn't last Halloween because of COVID, but this is usually all cut off.
From Gerard to Bloor or something, isn't it?
Yeah, and it becomes a massive street party.
Oh, hold on, is it north or south of Wellesley? Stormcrow.
It's north of here.
North of Wellesley. Okay.
Yes. All right. A friend of mine used to live in this little building on the corner, her and her mom. That's when I was 14? Yeah, about 14. When I was 14 years old, my friend lived in this building. So I'd come and see her all the time because I was living over in Riverdale, which is a little further that way. You asked for mojo, I sent some.
Yeah.
Pizza, pizza. Yeah, sorry, Storm Crow. Storm Crow. How far are you from the place you're at now? Not that far. A little more now north and a little more west. There it is, right there. Just turn around. Turn around. This is one way. You're gonna have a hard time turning around.
Everything's one ways in the city.
Well, a lot of these cities, a lot of these city streets are much older little neighborhoods that were built so long ago before most of this modern. Because you see, these are all old houses on this side, and then that's all, you know, 60s, 70s, and 80s apartment buildings. So
that was Church Street. This is Jarvis Street. And anyone know the musician Jarvis Church? He's from Toronto. He got his stage name from Jarvis and Church.
This old building over here, can't see it now because it's dark, but it still has its original stained glass. Cobblestone Street, yes. Yes, there's a thin layer. On some of them, the thin layer of cement still exists. But on others, it's so worn down that you can still feel the cobblestones. They're starting to be revealed. And the areas, too, there's a lot of cobblestone and streetcar tracks, trolley tracks underneath, you know, a thin layer of cement. So over the years, of course, the cement has been worn down by cars. And you can feel the tracks as well. Freshie! Pizza, pizza. Shane's going happy. I got to go. I really enjoyed talking to you on a view of the city. Thank you. I'll see you in the future broadcast. Bye bye. Bye bye. Make sure you share. Make sure you share our broadcast and let everyone know that we are doing the House Challenge.
Wow, so many one-way streets coming out.
Well, yeah. Because the way they were designed. Again, old.
Well, we'll just take Charles Street again.
Old buildings. Everywhere. That was Casey House back there. Casey House is a drug rehab center for women. I think it's a women's only, isn't it? If I remember correctly. It's either women or teenagers. I can't remember. It's either youth or women's. Turn the century housing, it looks. Yes. Some of these actually go back to like early 1800s.
19th century.
There are buildings in Toronto that go back to 16 and 1700s too. They're not as common because they were the early settlers. But you know, when the country was still struggling to develop an identity. I love Jarvis Church, so talented. Well, now you know the neighborhood he came from.
And where he picked his name from. I don't even know his real name.
I don't know his real
There's
name.
There's those buildings again.
Yeah, we circle down.
Rescued.
So you can see the frontage is being rescued, but the building itself was not doing well. But the other building behind is still in one piece. In Columbus, Ohio, we have an area called German Village, and there are a lot of cobblestone streets. I thought Casey House was AIDS. Was it AIDS?
Oh, actually, Casey House, yeah, it's an AIDS hospital.
That's right. It started with youth, I think. I know it was turned into Casey House in the early 80s because I remember hearing about it on the radio, and they sent pamphlets out to all the schools, and being in the Catholic system, they were really spazzy about it, but the government said, no, you got to hand these out to your students too. So we got these little pamphlets saying Casey House was there for us. So Martin hopefully is going to slow down because unfortunately Storm Crow's kind of dark right now. That's okay, let them pass. There we go.
Oh, of course, they're big. Church pizza.
So there you go. It's all dark, which is so creepy for me.
I love the live nerds sign. I don't know if you can read that.
Yeah, it's having a hard time focusing because it's so dark. But poor Stormcrow, it's they're allowing pickup at certain hours. I don't know if they are right now. Oh yeah, there's light in the no, there's not light in the foyer. But these are the people I worry the most about because, I mean, they rescued a historical building, and the inside is awesome, and there's so little light on. I mean, normally those windows are all lit up. Those windows in the middle are all stained glass. Like one's got Darth Maul on it, and one's got like an angel on it, and there's just so much, and it's so dark right now. I am hoping Stormcrow survives, because if they don't, I am going to be super, super upset. Yeah. Holy fuck. We are delivering. Order online at stormcrow.com. And we'll be a walk down the street from them once we move. Which means we'll probably go even more broke.
Let's try not to.
Yes, let's try not to.
We're saving $400 a month. Doesn't mean we have to spend it on Stormcrow.
Why not?
No, really amazing.
Aww. Oh, and that big ugly tower thing up there is the ex-Trump Tower. Which has now disappeared behind the buildings, thank God. Now, do you want to do Cine?
Yes. First I need to make this stuff. I'm going over to the Circle K at Parliament.
Ah. June Cowwood's son was the inspiration. Now that I didn't know.
For
Casey. Casey Hess. June was a real hero, legend in Toronto. How cool, yeah. It's too bad it's so dark because the windows are awesome. But all the restaurants have been told, like certain restaurants have been told that they cannot function under particular conditions. So they're completely shut down, except delivery. So I'm assuming the back lights are on, like lights in the back of the building where the delivery drivers probably go get their stuff. Oh, Stormcrow in Vancouver. This sucker's bigger.
Oh yeah, like 3-story mansion.
And a historical building. Yeah, the one Stormcrow, the original Stormcrow in Vancouver is closed now.
The little tiny one in Commercial Domain.
I always love this building. It's really hard to see, but it's there. It's like a social club, if I remember correctly. Very Renaissance. I got to go. Should be looking up dressers online, but you all are more entertaining. Thank you. Well, everyone, make sure you share before you go anywhere. I'm snacking. I know I shouldn't be.
I gotta make a pit stop at the Circle K, but again, we do have peanuts here, so don't have to buy anything to make that.
I'm starch snacking. You know what I'm snacking. It's like always starch snacking. Now the battery's at 40%.
Right. We had Booster with us.
Oh, I don't want to do that with this iPad. Remember what happened last time? The booster not only drained real fast, but got way too hot.
We pulled the battery up front and use the one word. Oh, okay.
I don't have the charger for this one.
Oh, we didn't bring it.
Nope, we didn't bring it.
Dang it.
It's weird also seeing the schools completely dark. Well, except for the stairwells. I think that's an emergency thing. I think we should have started this earlier.
Maybe.
Besides, I'm going to be able to charge this up too and get on someone else's broadcast and say hi.
Oh, yeah.
Or do we just go straight home and let these wonderful folks go?
We can do
And
the CNE another time.
we can do the CNE another time. In daylight. That's true, because it's really dark. Maybe tomorrow. It's really hard for us to plan a day, guys. So someone had asked, I don't remember who it was, but someone had asked how close is this new place to the place we're in right now. So we're just gonna head home because we should also eat some real dinner. The sushi was dinner part one. Yes, that's right. So yes, Toronto is full of a lot of old buildings. Thank you, Katrina. The high award. Here, I gotta wave somehow. I gotta wave. I gotta wave because it's a high award. There we go. Hi. Everyone, I'm going to remind you all that for those of you who are not watching on HAPS, we are on HAPS TV /at Car Hunger, CARRHUNGER. So at Car Hunger. Okay, we're going to cut across the top of Cabbagetown. Cabbagetown was called Cabbagetown because it was settled by the Irish, and the buildings in Cabbagetown are, again, a lot of old buildings, but the buildings in Cabbagetown had cabbage gardens because the Irish didn't grow potatoes. No, 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 no. Potatoes actually are not native to Ireland. They were just used by the Irish because the Irish figured out how to grow them more effectively. But they're not originally part of the Irish history. Cabbage was. So all of these houses in Cabbagetown used to have little cabbage gardens out front. So it became known as Cabbagetown. We'll have to go through Cabbagetown during the day because all the buildings are dark at the moment because they're all old buildings. In America, we love to tear down our old buildings and build parking lots. Yeah, Katrina, some places really neglected in order to get the government to let them tear it down. The place we're living in right now is very neglected, which is upsetting, but not much we can do.
Like the song goes, eh? Don't it always seem to go?
Mind to God till it's gone. Paradise, put up a parking lot. So unfortunately, there's a lot of buildings here that are going down. So what the Historical Society is trying to do is get any of them that still has healthy frontage to keep the front of the building so everyone remembers the building that was there. And put a new building. Even a building, there's a building just down the street from where we're living right now that people are trying to save. It's an old foundry. And they got the permits to tear it down. But right now they're protesting. They're out there. They're protesting. They got the news down there, political figures. But I used to live in Cabbagetown. I should pull out the address before we show you Cabbagetown in daylight. So we can show you where I actually lived when I was a kid. Yay, Joni! Thank you, Harold. Oh my God, when I went to Withrow School, we always sang One Tin Soldier every single morning. Oh Canada and One Tin Soldier. So we're just leaving Cabbagetown. And you got this pocket of more newer buildings where there really isn't any old buildings. And then a little further south, there's old. So things were much more spaced out because a lot of this was still kind of little small farms and small estates. Small estates back then, of course, is different than it is now. But they were scattered throughout the city. Whoa. Going south right now towards the lake. And remind everyone of our sponsorship. Once we reach 40 a month, we will give sponsors special privileges, including discounts on items and stuff and favors and lovely things to say thank you for sponsoring us every month. car is also a much smoother ride than this is than our previous vehicle, where it's not focusing. There you go. The red lights are on it right now. Hi, Walter. Woodlums is in the house.
Woodlums.
You're coming at the end of our broadcast. That's perfectly all right. My grade 11 math teacher told us he took his karate class at Billy Jack. Fights were closest he had ever seen to actual sparring. Nice. Just missed Emmy. You did, Emily. Yes, you did. Please watch this when you get home. June Colwood, her son, was inspiration for KCS. A true saint. We may get the chance, we may not, honey. But thank you for the link. We will do our best. So we have now reached basically King Street. So we're in the Corktown district. And just south of this is the Distillery District. And kind of tucked in between the two is this little teeny section called the Canary District. Not fake like a certain person we both know. Oh, Harold, be nice. Wow, okay. So we are behind schedule on a lot of things now. So we may or may not be able to get back on. But we'll charge up our devices just in case we get the chance. We will be sitting down and finishing the 3D prints we need to do. And we've got an order for Shane that I want to complete and need to complete because we'd like to get that out the door to her down in Texas. And then we've got the lightsaber, and we've got a custom order for the boxes, and we have a web page to work on. So there is a lot going on with us, folks. We'll try to get on as often as we can, and we'll try to check in with people as often as we can. Did you see I re-uploaded my PSD but compressed? Did you? Okay, honey, send me a little message or something to let me know, and I can look at it on the computer. I just can't look at it on anything else, it seems. Any spots? Any spots? Any spots? That's very narrow.
That's very narrow. All right.
We'll go down to a lot. Have a good night, Chris and Martin. Everyone, please feel free to share. Those of you who are not on HAPS yet, come on over. HAPS is still doing those complimentary coins for doing certain tasks, for accomplishing different tasks. And those coins can be spread amongst the Hapsters who are broadcasting. So pick your favorite Hapsters and by all means spread your coins around. Or give them all to one.
Hamsters.
Oh yeah, that's right. Whichever. The voice, the auto caption called Hapsters Hamsters. I sent the link on Facebook. Okay. Thank you so much, Katrina. Probably not see you tonight. Bad head cold. Chill. Been asleep most of the afternoon. Good night. Oh, I wish I could sleep most of the afternoon. Not for that reason, but. Of course my vitamin water is coming in. My vitamin water. I must have my vitamin water. All right. Where did we originally go? Oh, we went out just to get air, and we went to pick up something. Oh, right, it's in the glove compartment. Ha ha! My memory suddenly jogs back into place. We originally went out to get the deposit for the new place taken care of. So, thank you, Budlums. Super Heart Award. Boom, 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 boom. Good evening. I was about to ask Martin if he had the iPad, and I've got it.
Yeah.
Where's the iPad?
We're broadcasting now.
See, like me, I love this. I love coming back to Toronto, and this was all just a drab. Here, turn this around. Turn this around. This was all just a drab underpass, and now it's like a whole park system with like painted archways, and there's a skate park at the other end.
The basketball nets, playground area.
I mean, it's great things like that. Because you got a lot of kids down here who don't really have much, much outside of their little world, and they need to exert that energy. And I remember when I was a kid, it was hard sometimes because you didn't have, you're growing up in the city, and your most excitement is being down on Young Street playing arcade games, spending all your babysitting money on big machines that make noise. So it's really great to come back and see this, see people doing this in the city, cleaning up areas that were just filthy before. Well, you did lock the car, speaking of, right?
Yeah.
Oh, goody, goody.
And I closed the movie.
Oh, yeah. And you slid it closed too? Okay. The moon, it's called the moon? I mean, the sunroof? That was called the sunroof. Why is it called the moonroof?
There's moonroof on the display. It's moonroof open.
What, you pull down your pants
and that's sunroof.
You pull down your pants and stick your butt out?
That's right, yeah.
All right. So we're going to stop here for a moment because I'm going to get my mask on, and this is where we're going to end the broadcast in this building. But yes, we're going to head off. Hopefully we'll be able to come back on later on, maybe on someone else's broadcast. And we want to be able to do a few in the future where we can get people on ours again. With some great subject matter to actually talk about things.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. But we'll see you all soon. And remember, respect yourself more than anyone else, and everything will be fine. Self-respect, self-love, most important thing. And hey, Martin.
Mm-hmm.
I roll. Martin?
Uh-huh.
Say see you later, Martin.
See you later, Martin.
Thanks, guys, for joining us. Talk to you later. Remember, share. Remember, there's the awards. The more you log on, the more coins you can get, the more you can share. And, of course, we're after sponsorships to a certain level so that we can start giving out discounts and doing cool things and advancing and teaching. And let us know, too. Drop on our other social media and PM us. Let us know what you're thinking. All is good, guys. Talk to you later.